Eve, everybody. We are almost into 2026. We have Uncle Doug down there at the bottom. So we're doing a little bit of
Hello, everybody.
a different format today, since obviously 2026 is tomorrow, which is absolutely even just crazy to say. I thought maybe we should switch it up a little bit, just a tiny bit. So my area here is a little different. I switched my desktop over to the other side so I'd be closer to the window light. Hopefully that this would be illuminated a little bit more, which it's looking fantastic right now. And since I always need to drink, I got a sparkly skull tumbler for work. So now I can do my cranberry water mixture that me and Uncle Doug just love so much and keep it in my little tumbler instead of drinking pop every time I'm on. Look, yeah, he's got it too. Just makes it a little bit less tart, but it's still super good. And then you're also getting that daily dose of water that you need, because I know some people like myself are probably pretty bad at drinking water, so adding it to my fruit juices makes it a little bit easier. I will say. All right, let's welcome everybody. Jean said Happy New Year's Eve. Hi, Peggy and Christine, Kathy, Lynn, Connie. So good to see you guys. And you know I'm not like the girly type, but I just had to brag about this new shirt that I got. Look at how adorable. You guys know I love the long sleeves. Like the long dangly sleeves are my favorite. But I happened to see this when I was down in Virginia at the show. Some young lady was walking around with this shirt on, and I halted her immediately. I said, "Hey, I need to know where you got that. Please tell me. Like, I will go get it as soon as we're done here." And she said she got it at a place called 7 and James in Virginia. And they didn't have my size in stock. So they're like, "Hey, we'll call you if we get it in stock." And lo and behold, a month later, they called me and we said, "Hey, we got your size." And I'm like, "Great." And they're like, do you want to come pick it up? I was like, "I'm in Iowa, but my parents are in Virginia, so my mom can go pick it up." And she was visiting over Christmas, so she happened to get the shirt for me. So I love it. Would you call this a blouse? I see Lynn said very cute blouse. Probably my first blouse I've ever worn, to be honest. Oh, hi, Diane. So good to see you. Jean is as vintage today, Aunt Jean. And hi, Sherry. So good to see everybody. We have some really cute jewelry to go over today. We have 2 necklaces, a bracelet, and a pair of earrings. It's a cute set. And this morning, approximately an hour ago, I did upload 4 different kits to the live shop. So vintageliveshop.com, the first 4 products are going to be the kits for each of these. There's only, I think, 3 left of this one, and then 9 left of the rest. So make sure you go grab the kits if you're a kit person. I know you guys have been missing Wendy, Mackie, and Taya in their kits, so we're trying to uphold their side with doing more kits than typical. So it's not just bulk packs, because you're still getting, both sides of it for anybody who wants the kits. All right. Is there anything you'd like to say, Uncle Doug? While I grab
Sure.
this big loot giveaway?
Look behind me. We were able to slam out the rest of those open orders from the live shop and from almost everything else. I think we're finally caught up after that Christmas rush. And so it's really nice to have a clean desk for a little bit until we finish this one.
Yes.
So, and I hope, if I don't say it again later, that everybody has a wonderful, safe New Year's Eve and an awesome 2026 to start out.
Absolutely. And you guys know the drill. All you have to do is love react to the live video, that is streaming right now as we speak for a chance to win the Big Loot giveaway. Reminder, you can only win once within a 6-month period, and you have to have an open order with us on vintagelifeshop.com. If you have any in-depth questions, don't be afraid to email me, warehouse@vintage.com, and or Jean will be in the comments as well as Doug, and I know they will either one or the other or both of them will be monitoring YouTube, so we'll be able to
I'm
get
on
all of our
YouTube
bases
right
covered.
now.
Awesome. Hi, Stephanie. Don't you love my new shirt? I'm just obsessed with it. You know, I never, ever, 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 ever buy clothes that are over like $20, except for things that I absolutely love. And this was one of those things where I'm like, I'm just going to have to cough up the receipt and maybe hand it off to Ian so he reimburses me for it. Just kidding.
Is that how they do it?
I think so. I think that's how
Oh,
it
that's
works.
awesome.
So it was a little bit expensive, I will say, but it was like a must-have for me. Otherwise, I'm always shopping on sale. All right, let's dig into some really great stuff. We'll bring Doug back on for trivia, and I'll give you a little heads up before we get into the trivia. Awesome sauce. Bye-bye. Amazing. So yeah, how crazy is it? 2026? Absolutely insane. What are your New Year's resolutions? While I get prepped for our first one, which I'll do the earrings first, I'm thinking. So make sure that you put your New Year's resolutions in the comments there, because I'm curious. Maybe there's something that I want to steal from one of you. But one of my New Year's resolutions is I'm going to, when I was in high school, I would work out every single day, twice a day. And once I got out of high school and then COVID hit, it was really hard to get to the gym. And so I just stopped going. I stopped working out. But Ian, for Christmas, put a little workout station downstairs in our basement. So my New Year's resolution is to work out at least once a day starting January 1st. So I love that we have a little, it's just a little like bench and squat set downstairs, but that's typically all you need. And we can add to it later, but I'm very excited to use that. So that is one of my New Year's resolutions, is to work out every day, once a day. I mean, obviously you need your like little breaks here and there. So we'll say maybe like 5 days a week or something is kind of what I'm shooting for myself. But I'm curious what you ladies are wanting to do, if it has to do with jewelry, etc., etc. I also need my little FSO2. So there's more that's coming in this kit than just what you're seeing here. I'm just bringing out what I need to make at least one of these earrings for you so I can demonstrate. Humility, Lisa. Treating everyone, even ones whose name I will not utter, like God's children to the best of my ability. I love that. That's amazing. Good luck. I will say good luck, because I struggle with that sometimes too, but that is a phenomenal resolution. I always feel like resolutions are cool because we're at the start of a new year. So why not just say, okay, January 1st, it's the new year, we're starting fresh. Let's do something new. Let's do something fresh. Let's work on ourselves. Ooh, Lynn said she wants to get more clutter organized so she doesn't have so much in her workspace. Oh, Patty says she won't be making one. That's okay. Not everybody has to participate, but I just love doing that. It's kind of my refresh for the next year. All right, so we're going to start cutting into this F170 filigree, because you guys know I can't help myself. Sometimes I just have to really, really cut into some filigree. I'm going to pull this bench block kind of up here, though, so I have a little bit more room. Doug said he keeps his pretty organic, or pretty generic. Improve in something of my choice. I like it. Ooh, your ever-growing stash. That's a good one too, Cindy. All right, so for starters, we're going to start on this side and at the very top here. So this top middle hole is where I'm going to be stringing my ear wire through. So we're going to avoid that, and we're going to clip right next to it like this. So that's our first piece that's coming off. And then we're going to do our second one. We're going to follow this nice thick line right here all the way down to this corner point. So let's do the next one. And I like coming in right at the base. So try and get as close to this as you can without chopping into it. And then here, I wanted to keep this straight line, so I did chop into this little dot area right there. So I wanted to make it flush. So I'm going to angle my pliers so. There we go. And then we're going to come in. So here, you can see that I had left these 4 little dots there to come down into this really pretty like diamond shape there at the bottom. So I'm going to do that next. So we're going to keep this loop here, but we're going to chop this little piece off that loop. Okay, I'm going to come in, I'm going to chop that off the other loop. And then we're going to avoid these 4. So I'm going to cut right against the 4 knobs without taking the little knob off. And there's our one side. And you're going to do that same exact thing on the opposite side. So I'm going to start back from the top, which I found was a little bit easier to prevent because this filigree is a little thin. So I start from the top and work my way down, because starting at the bottom, when I got to this thicker piece that I needed to cut along the straight line, it started to bend my metal a little bit, and I was trying to avoid that because I don't necessarily want to try to bend it back. So that's why I'm starting from the top and then going to the bottom. And so I don't bend my middle filigree that I need to keep. All right, I'm going to go down to the next one here. Beautiful. And then we're going to cut this little dot off so this line stays flush. And then remember, I can come in and clean this, so I'm going to reclip some of these where it's a little harsh. And then I'm going to come in with my file, because we always need to ensure that we don't have sharp things protruding, especially when it's by your neck. This is going to be my last point of cut here. So we don't want to be getting sharp things, anywhere, but obviously not by our neck. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to make this a little more flush with my pliers to start, and then I'm going to come in with my file. That looks pretty even. I'm going to cut a little bit more off this one. All right. Let's get my file. Hi, Janet. Happy New Year's Eve. I'm so excited not to work tomorrow. Wink, wink. Oh, we love that day off. That first day off for the first day of the year. It's my favorite. I'll get a little bit more of that off. I'm going to use my finger to gauge if there's any more sharp points. So I just glide my finger across. I have a couple down here that I do need to shave off a little bit. It's almost there. I'll flip it over because I feel the sharp spot, but I can't get it from the... There we go, that's better. So I can't get it from the front, but I know I can get it from the back. Alright, so this side's kind of sharp, so I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. I can't tell you how many times I've been filing something and I get it, like I file my nail and like on accident, like I'm going into file and then it like gets my nail and then it creates weak points in my nail. So if you're wondering why my thumbnails are two different sizes, yesterday I was putting stuff in the recycling bin, which was frozen. I mean, absolutely frozen. There was snow on top of it because we had just gotten a dusting. And I went to slam the lid down so I could get it because it was kind of full. My recycling bin was very full. And I wanted to make sure that the lid closed. And as I did that, I don't know, I just hit my nail just right on it and the whole thing just snapped. Like right in the middle there. So then I had to just take it all off because what the heck is half a nail if you don't have a full nail? No thanks. Alright, that's looking pretty good. And I'm really liking the shape of this filigree after taking those sides off. Very pretty, which I also use this filigree, and I'll put up the Carter here in a second. I also put this filigree here in this necklace, just full shaped. But I thought that it would also be pretty with the half shape there that we have created as well. So that way you can see it two different ways. As I'm talking about this, let's do what I was gonna say and get these Carter items up. So I'm gonna put the earring kit up first. This is the earring kit. So everything that you need to create these earrings will come in this kit for $24. There's 11 pieces that come in the kit for cart 100. So cart 100, $24 for the earring kit that we're working on now. And then I will bring that back up, but I do want to take the filigree pack and put that up as well, since that's what we were working on. Cart 101, the filigree pack. It is a natural brass F170 crest filigree. Very detailed too. Lots of detail in there. And it's easy to maneuver because it's a little more on the thin side, which is really convenient, especially when you're trying to cut, etc., etc. All right, let's get out our arrow here. So for the arrow, I will put that up. This one is using the arrow ring. It is an adjustable ring. They come in size 8, but you can adjust it whether you want it bigger or smaller. But it is a solid brass arrow ring, cart 102, 4 pieces for $18. These retail for $10 a piece, so definitely grab the deal. It's better than 50% off, which is amazing. But it comes out to be much longer than the other ring or the other arrow that I was working with in the other design. That's why I ended up using this one. So let's take this ring and we're gonna slowly bend it out. You do that too, Lynn? Funny. Thanks, Kimmy. I should share a knife safety lecture with my grandson. Didn't work out as I expected. Uh-oh. What does that mean? Maybe Uncle Doug will have to tell us during trivia. Alright. So, I'm going to flatten this out a little bit with my fingers before I get the hammer to it. So this is the arrow ring. And then this is the other arrow that we're working with today. So there is quite a bit of a size difference when it comes to these. So if you're wanting to make these earrings, you can do it with these. But I really liked the way that this looked after it was hammered. It was very organic looking. So that's what we're going to do. Turn your volume down now if you don't want to hear the hammer noises. Otherwise, be like Peggy and turn it all the way up. So I'm coming in with my flat side first. I will be using the round side after, but we're coming in with the flat side first. This is a little bit of a thicker piece, so you kind of gotta work for it a little bit. Beautiful. Which this is making it a little bit longer even than what it was before. Which this would be a really cool piece if you were to do like a hole punch here on either side and then do like a whole cluster of charms hanging, which would be super cool. But now I'm going to come in with the round side because that's going to give me a really cool hammered texture. Just all over that baby. Beautiful. Cool beans. Bring on that hammering, Peggy says. Yes, ma'am. So this is our hammered arrow. Very organic. I just love the look of it. And then we need to come in with our shears. So these beautiful brown pliers here. Maybe Jean can put the shears in the comments there. We're going to come and snip it right in the middle, but I want to gauge it before I snip it. And you need to be careful when you're snipping this because it will slide out of your shears if you don't go slow and easy with it. That's looking about, I'm just going to mark it right now. That looks about right. So now I'm going to come in and do it slow. There we go. And here's my other piece. My other piece kind of flew away. Dang, that was a really good eyeball of where the middle was. Check that out. Alright, now on the two ends here, I'm going to hammer the crap out of them because I wanted a little bit more space to be able to do a hole punch. So I made this a little more flat and a little bit more wide than the other sides. So that's what we're going to do next. We're going to do some more hammering. But I'm going to do it with the round side because I do a motion like this when I'm hammering, so it kind of flattens it out as I'm going. I'm going to put this one down here while I work on this one. That's looking pretty good. Beautiful. See, when I hammer using that motion, I'm able to help glide that metal in the direction that I want it to go, whether it's wider or longer. Thanks, Jean. Look like a shovel to anyone else? Oh! So, yes, this does. But you just reminded me, Peggy. So, Ian, I was in bed showing him the earrings that I had made. So you can see how much that has elongated. Actually, it's a little hard to tell over the camera. Hold on. Let me do I have like a straight piece here. I'll use another arrow. So the arrow is touching the long piece that we just hammered, and that's how much we were able to move it to make it a little bit longer. But Ian had said something about this piece, and I had looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, that looks like a fish tail. What if I put a little oval blank here? Obviously take the front part off, but did an oval blank there to turn it into a little fish. I thought that would be adorable. So after that one, I'm going to hammer the next one. We're using that same motion to push that metal out. enough for us to be able to do the hole punch. Gorgeous. All right, I'm gonna put these up together to make sure that we're pretty close in length. Looks about right. And I'm gonna come in and grab my hole punch here. And we're gonna punch a hole in the top middle of this piece. I'm gonna come up here so I have a little more leverage. It's harder to do it under the camera. And pull that off. So we got our hole punch there. Then we're going to line up our second piece of our arrow. Make sure I'm pretty center on this. There we go. I'm going to pull that baby off. That's what I thought. I thought it would be cute as a fish. You could even use this as the fish head and do something like this with a little oval blank there in the middle, or do like Jean's fishbone class. I thought would be cute. All right. So now that we have those, you would place one on top like this. And then there's a jump ring. There's a couple jump rings that come in this pack. And you're going to slide the jump ring through both the arrow and the filigree that we have cut up. And I'm going to leave that open because next we're doing our flower filigree. Now, you can't buy the flower filigree in bulk because I don't have overstock of it. So if you want to buy the flower filigree in bulk, you'll need to go to the wholesale site. Otherwise, you can buy 2 for $5, I think, on retail. But the kit will come with these. So if you want the kit, it comes with these. But if you want bulk pack, go to the wholesale site. And for this, I have this dampening set, which I think you can use the wood one with this one too, but I don't know where. Oh, mine's over there. I found it. Anyway, a dampening set, but you're going to take this side of the filigree, the front facing part of the filigree is going to go down. So the back side of the filigree is facing up toward you. And we're going to create a dap, a backwards dap, because it is slightly dapped in the other direction, but we want to change that because we're going to be using it for wrapping the Rivoli. Looking pretty good. I think I just need to do a little bit more here. Beautiful. Scoop that out. Hi, Blenda. Good to see you. Happy New Year. All right, now we're going to come down a little bit closer. So for this filigree wrap, I did use, let me measure this for sure, because I always say in between 10 and 11, but I want to make sure. Where the heck did my caliper go? I think that's in my room. Give me 1 second, because it's important to know the stone size for this. There it is. I was about to say just kidding, but I found it. Of course. All right, but this is definitely smaller than our 12 millimeter Rivoli. I'm going to zero my caliper out here. Okay, so I guess between 10 and 11 is right. It's 10.70 millimeters. for this Rivoli, which 2 of these do come in the earring kit. I don't have a crystal pack for purchase because there's something that that Jean wanted me to try. I didn't have time to do it this morning, but it's a setting that would come with these crystals type thing, which I thought was a good idea. I didn't know if it was going to work, but definitely is going to work because we did it in production. So I just have to take a little bit of time to do that. But for this filigree wrap, I'm going to come around. I'm going to hit about this point on my flower filigree. I'm going to bend up every single one of these floral tabs except for, let's say, like this one and then the one that's vertically above it. So I'm going to do all of them except for 2 of them, so it creates a connector. So we're going to bend these tabs up. I just really like the way that this looks. I love the way that the F20 looks too, but I always like to have some variation when it comes to wrapping Rivolis, because it really does elevate this design with it being this filigree specifically. I'm going to pull this tab down because this is the one that I want to keep open for my connector spot. And go fold up the rest of these. It's so cute. And then I did a while back, I did the same wrap but with other earrings. Super adorable. But I had the Rivoli facing this way when I wrapped it, so then it was just like some pop of color and some crystal coming through. So I've wrapped it both ways, with the Rivoli facing out like this and then facing out like that. But I like the way there was a lot of filigree in this, so that's why I went with this option instead of the other option. But cute either way. I'm going to put my Rivoli in there in the center. And I'm going to hold it as I bend down some of these prongs. Now, I'm not doing it super tight by any means. I'm just doing it so I have a placeholder for my Rivoli so it doesn't fall in and out of the wrap while I'm wrapping it, because that would just be annoying. And we want to avoid that. So I'm pushing up each of these onto the stone. It's looking pretty good. Make sure I keep those bent up. And then I'm going to come over top of it like this with my pliers. And I'm going to scrunch in both sides from middle to bottom to top, however you want to do it. I'm going to squeeze it in so I get super tight to my Rivoli. Don't over squeeze because you don't want to break your crystal. But you do want it to be tight. Push some of those prongs down and flip to my other side here. And even. So that's why I'm pulling in all of these prongs over top of my crystals. Beautiful. And I'm going to come in over top again, push them down over top of the crystal because we didn't do a super, super tight wrap. And they do maneuver a little bit while you're squeezing in. So that's looking pretty good. I think I'm going to squeeze this one in just a bit more though. Definitely looks like it could do it. So let's do that. Beautiful. I could pull this one down a bit more too. Hold on. Hold on. Corian's OCD is getting the best of her. Maybe that'll be another resolution. Don't let OCD get the best of me. Beautiful. Alright, that's a little more even. Flatten this out. And then re-scrunch my prongs over top of my crystal. Make sure that they're super secure. Gorgeous. And then we're going to take that jump ring combo with our arrow and our filigree. Attach our crystal to the top there. I'm going to close this up. And then I'm going to take this ERV or ER026. I think this is a 26. It might not be though. I'm going to slide that filigree onto my ear wire. And I'm going to close my ear wire. And then you have your finished earrings. I'm going to pop that earring kit back up again. So the earring kit, cart 100, everything that you need for this pair of earrings comes in this earring kit. And if you want to buy two, then you can do two with mermaid tails and two with shovels. How about that, Pegs? There we go. Or fish tails, or whatever you want to call them, or little fish tails, arrow ends, shovels, or arrowheads. One or the other. Or all four. Can y'all imagine how cool it would be if Corian were a teacher? She is so patient and very thorough in describing and demonstrating. Hold on, I have to extend your comment so I can read it all. How to create each piece. I love you, Peggy, so much. I appreciate you guys. The Rivoli size is a 10.70 millimeters. So between 10 and 11 millimeters, it's 10.7. But yes. You're so sweet. I'm going to love your comment right now while I see it. I appreciate you, Peggy. I'm trying really hard to make sure it's easy to understand. Hi, Joanne. So good to see you. You haven't missed a whole lot today. We just finished with our first kit, so it shouldn't be too bad. Oh, good idea on the hole punch, Stephanie. Sorry, I'm just reading some of the comments here and getting caught up. You cannot see everyone's comments on Facebook. So on the desktop here, I hit Control minus, so it makes my thing very, very small, so then I can see some comments. But Facebook has made it very, very hard for people who are watching the live on their mobile devices. Viewing the comments is very difficult. Happy New Year, Joanne, you sweet thing. All right, so cart 100 earring kit, 11 pieces, $24. Everything comes in this kit. Otherwise, you can grab the ring, the arrow ring pack, cart 102, 4 pieces for $18. Those arrows are solid brass. And then grab that F170 pack. I think that's what I said it was. The natural brass filigree, 8 pieces for $24, cart 101. Adorable, adorable. All right, is Uncle Doug ready for some trivia? All right, I'm going to bring him on here. All right, Uncle Doug.
Hey, everybody. I'm still here. Tempted, but I'm still here. So first, I'll get this little knife story out of the way.
Is the necklace and the cuff bracelet with the 2 flowers one trivia, or is it 2 trivias?
The bracelet's is a separate one.
So like this is just for this one's a trivia one.
That's a separate one.
This one is?
Yes.
So let's do this one then as our first trivia.
That's a Mairead bracelet.
Yes, this is
Mairead Nesbitt.
And it was a Bella exclusive cuff too.
Yeah. We made that as part of her jewelry line.
Let's take this out of the bag.
What were they called again? The girls from Ireland that played the Celtic woman, I think they're called. And she was the violinist for them.
Yeah.
Gene would remember.
No, we had Mardell and Maraid.
Yeah, but this is Maraid.
Yes. We had Mardell and Maraid. How pretty is that? So we're going to do a trivia for this cuff. Are you going to put it in the comments again, or are you just going to read it?
Yeah, I think I'll do that because although hopefully my microphone's better, we changed out this webcam for this computer. So hopefully it's a little bit better than it was before.
Sure.
So Spence, my son, and Kellen were out camping on land out on the back hill somewhere in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the smoke coming up from their fire. I said, I'm going to go out there and visit them, see what's going on, right?
Yeah.
So I went out to the campsite, and they like to primitive camp. They just really enjoy that. And so Kellen was doing a spark fire with his knife. He's using the back of his knife and the sparker to practice him, making fire.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, here, let me show you how to do that. You got to hold it, safely and all this. And while I started sparking, the knife jumped back when I went backwards, and it cut off a whole chunk of my thumb. So I was trying.
Are you serious?
Filing your finger, I thought about cutting half of my thumb off, and then he never lets me down. He's always, whenever we go around somewhere and we're doing with knives or something, he's like, "Hey, Dad, make sure Grandpa doesn't get near that knife." So
yeah, and copy Tyler.
Oh well, his was on a table saw. That was a little
saw,
worse.
Yeah. But he's
All right.
missing some fingertips. I know that.
Yeah. So thanks for reminding me when you talked about filing your finger.
That's so funny. I mean, not funny, dangerous, but
yeah, it's
funny now that it's over.
It's funny now that yeah, we laugh about it now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Cindy got to see her in concert. That's really cool.
Who did?
Cindy.
Do you know she was, before things changed up, she was actually going to come here to Galena and do a concert as part of the launch, but it just didn't work out that way.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
All right, you ready for trivia? Bye,
I am,
Kathy.
but I accidentally pasted the answer in too.
Uh-oh.
So are we ready?
Yes.
Here we go. Who is the first
Smith,
woman to win a Nobel Prize?
Bede Smith does sell replacement tips for the hole punch. I saw Lisa's comment there. Aww, Lisa rescheduled her appointment so that she can see us all the way through instead of halfway through. Love that.
We have to keep this time slot sacred, right?
Yes. Yes, this is the spot.
This is an important
time.
This is one of our resolutions, to learn more and become the best jewelry designers around, right?
Yes.
In the country.
Yep.
Okay, now the answers are coming in. I turned away from the camera
for a second.
Now I got to go scroll back up because so many have the right answer, but I got to go see who came first. And it looks like it was Pam.
Woohoo!
Pam Cruz. Oh yeah, you got the claps going on again. Pam.
Good job, Pam.
I've got a little doodle here.
So fun.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have said the answer to the Marie Curie.
All right, Holly Workman, if you want to buy the middle one for $1,500, do it.
Yeah, it's yours.
Someone from
YouTube. I'm not sure that Holly Workman is legit because
just
if
do
she
it.
is, send it your way. We would appreciate that purchase.
Yep. I'll sell this to you for $1,500.
Yeah, actually, Quilted Dog Mama got it right over there on YouTube also.
Oh, good.
Okay, here's my first doodle of the day. Again, it's sort of a theme, but I like the scarves.
That is cute.
So there you go, Pam. I will come over.
Okay, Lisa. Sounds good. Have a good time at your massage. Your last one of the year. How crazy. All right, Uncle Doug. We'll see you when you get
Yeah.
over here.
Okay. Send me off here. Send me off.
Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So, Pam, you got the beautiful cuff. If I'm remembering correctly, maybe Vintage can put the link. I'm gonna push my thing with my throat.
Link to what?
The link to my thing here. Okay, so thank you. I do have that cuff for sale on vintagelifeshop.com. Not painted, just raw brass, solid brass, cuff pack, 4 pieces for $20. Just type cuff in the search and then you'll see the cuff packs pop up. So if you want that cuff, definitely go grab some. 4 pieces for $20 is a freaking steal for those. Absolutely. Okie dokie. On to our next demo. We are going to do our bracelet here. Since we're just coming off of that same filigree wrap, I'm not going to redo that wrap for you. But that will be your first matter of business when it comes to doing your bracelet. And let's get the Carter up for the bracelet kit. 7 pieces. Now this is where we're coming into using our other arrows. So bracelet kit, $20 for 7 pieces, cart 103. Everything that you need for this kit comes in the kit. So everything you need, findings, everything. So don't you worry. Grab the kit. You'll have everything that you need for this bracelet, which I think is just so clever. This is basically all of it, but you're obviously going to need your Rivoli and your FS029 filigree, which is your flower filigree there. So you're going to get these things in your bundle. You'll get a couple extra jump rings that I don't have out here yet, and then some chain with a clasp already attached. It's kind of quote unquote the link broke, but it didn't. It just came apart in production. So I do have some of these extra chain things that have the clasps already attached to them, which makes it a little bit easier for me when kitting up. And Corian too, because kits are more difficult to pack out than you would think, especially when you have like 50 kits of 50 different things that need to be kitted up, and then you're running around like, I need to go to this bin and 10 different bins for this one kit and another 10 different bins for this other kit, and it gets to be quite a bit. So definitely, I'm not saying be grateful, but I'm saying be grateful, because this is a lot of work, and I definitely understand why Mackie and Wendy and Taya had to pull off of it for a little bit, because it is a lot of work. Alright, cart 103 for the bracelet kit. I'm going to bring on that other arrow pack that I was talking about. That's 10 pieces for $20. You can choose natural brass or solid brass. For this bracelet, I did solid brass, so the kit will come with solid brass, but you can choose natural brass as well, which would be very pretty with the natural brass center, but I love mixing metals, so that's why we did the solid brass and natural brass kind of throughout this whole collection here. So this is what we're going to start out with. Cart 104, arrow pack, 10 pieces for $20. You can choose between solid brass and natural brass. And then remember, we're not doing bulk packs of this, so you'll need to type in FS029 on either your retail or wholesale account to get some of those if you don't get the kit itself. The kit does come with it. And let's start out with our arrow bending, since we already did a demo on the filigree wrap. I'm going to pull that out, and then we need to get some hole punches put in these two. So I did 2 hole punches at the top of the arrows there, So we're going to do that. And these are a little bit harder to punch. So if you need to, I recommend using your screw down hole punch, which, you know what, since I'm recommending it, I might as well just use it myself. Whatever the heck that was. Whatever the heck. I'm going to do a little bit. I'm going to do the smaller of the two punch sizes. And this is a screw down. So I'm going to pull it in there. And I'm going to screw it down just a little bit so I can see where I'm at. If I need to maneuver it, or if it looks pretty center there. It looks like I'm a bit off, so I'm going to untighten it a little bit. This one's hard to punch, so just go slow and don't overthink it, but definitely keep your eyeballs on it because the front side does have that rounded part there, which can make it hard to punch because it's not just flat like the other side. So just be careful when you're going through. I'm going to start screwing this down. I might be a little off yet, but this is a lot easier to get the punch through with the screw down than it is the other one. I did have to leverage off my chair to get my other punch to make it happen. Oh, Lisa's rings, yeah. So I'm a little off center there. That's okay. I'm going to try and do it. I didn't punch with the screw down hole punch, so I'm going to see whether it facing up or down is going to be easier. So now I'm going to try it the other way. Just so you guys know which way's easier, whether you should have your arrow face up or face down when coming into the screw down hole punch here. Oh, jeez. This thing's not very balancy. So I'm going to go into the middle of my arrowhead on this side. See what we're working with here. This might be the way to do it. Screw down hole punch. Maybe Jean can put that in there. It's V- something. V-L punch, maybe. Oop, I just screwed it all the way out. Like a loose screw. I didn't screw it all the way down. So I'm just going to come through with my other hole punch. But that happened to be easier and more center anyway. So when you're using your screw down hole punch, make sure the flat side is the side that's up when you're coming into your hole punch there. Makes it easier and keeps it more center. VL punch 1. I was close. Isn't that crazy? Just by memory. That's wild. Alright, let's see if... Oh, no. I definitely can't do it like that. I gotta chop some of this off. Why didn't I just screw it all the way down? Use your safety glasses. If you have them. Otherwise, just really protect your eyeballs there. Alright, I'm gonna finish this out. In the hole punch. I'm done messing with it. It's just a thick piece, so it's hard to hole punch. So we're going to screw this down. Get it all the way through this time. Instead of half button it like I do. Amazing. Thanks for putting that link in there, Aunt Jean. Alright. There we go. So that's definitely way better than the first one. So you're going to want to punch with the flat side facing up. You can see how off that other one is because I went from the top and it slid over versus that. So definitely do it that way. You're going to need your barrel pliers. These beauties. Oh, you're so sweet, Lisa. Your big barrel pliers with the brown handles. And we're going to make bracelet curves on either side. So this part is what's going to be connecting to my filigree wrap with my Rivoli. And I'm going to kind of go a little bit down farther than that and start my bracelet bend. Because I don't want this to be super, super bent, but I do need to bend that to get my curve around my wrist. You are going to have to work with this one a little bit because it is a thicker piece, so it's a little harder to maneuver. It's looking pretty good. I think I need to go a bit more though. Like a less of a, you can always gauge it by doing this on your wrist too. So I need to go a little wider because I do have some room here. So a little less of a curve there in the middle. So I'm going to pull it out just a tad. Put it against my wrist. That's sitting a lot better. I'm going to try and show you from this angle here that it's resting right against my skin, at least when I'm not like vertical with it, but it is there. That's a good bracelet curve. Feels good. And I'm going to do that on the other side as well. I'm going to start a little bit down from my arrow base. I'm going to start pulling it in. I'm going to go back to the super, super base and put my pliers on it, like the actual base itself, and then pull my arrow down a bit more to get a nice tight curve, and then we're going to pull it back out just a little bit. Because I want the curve, but then I want it to be able to match my wrist. Oop. Let's see here. That's looking pretty good. I could maybe go out just a tiny bit more, so I'm going to just do that with my fingers there. Tiny bit. Looking pretty dang good. They're not going to be the same, but they're going to be pretty dang close. Yeah. Okay. So here we are. I'm going to take that filigree wrap here and use a jump ring to connect it on either side. So we did that same filigree wrap into the connector where we left the two filigree tabs out. Took two JR20s, which do come in the bracelet kit, which I will bring that back up on Carter here. Cart 103 for the bracelet kit. So the JR20s there are connecting the butt of the arrow to the filigree wrap. It comes around into the top of the arrow, which I think using stampings as chain is just a wonderful way of getting out of using chain, one, but it also gives it an elevated and a unique look versus just all chain bracelets all the time. So we're back there at the top of our arrows, which are where we hole punched. I took the chain that also comes in this kit. I'll bring that back out. I used a few links of it on either side. More links of the chain come, so that way if you have like a larger brace or a larger wrist, you can do it to size. But I did a direct connection from the chain to the arrow, as well as the other side chain to the arrow, and then in the center there is our CL0003, which is, I took the two little links off that were there to begin with and did a direct connection from the chain to the clasp there. And this chain style is CH001. I do have it in solid brass CHV001. So you can get it in solid brass too if you want an all solid brass with the natural brass filigree, or if you want all solid brass with the natural brass filigree, or you can do this all natural brass with the natural brass arrows. If that makes sense. I know, Cindy. I wish we could all celebrate together too. Oh, that would be so stinking fun. All right, is Uncle Doug ready for another trivia? I need a thumbs up or a hands up. I can do the hands up. That works. All right, Uncle Doug is back on.
Back on. My phone's chirping at me though, so I have to. Sorry. All right.
Okay.
This one should be a really quick one.
Okay, I'm gonna
I mean, not,
do.
they all aren't really quick.
So this is a cute little pendant selection. So I'll read
Yeah,
these
these
real
are
quick.
from Southern Stamp Jewelry. We used to do some work for them.
Love between a mother and daughter is forever. And that's same with this one. This
Well, in
one
the bronze
is,
look, yeah.
yeah, so antique, or no, this is a polished pewter with potential
Yep.
silver, but it does have paint in there. It's not silver antique. And then this is a bronze antique. And then thank you for raising the man of my dreams. And then
Yeah, I give that to my in-laws.
it is not flesh and blood, but the heart that makes us father and daughter. Aw, that's adorable. So some cute little pendants for this next trivia. Whenever you're ready, Uncle Doug.
All right, here's the trivia question. I gotta find out which screen to put it in. All right, here we go. All right, here's the question. The unicorn is the national animal of which country?
Unicorns are real, by the way.
They are, yeah. Especially
Mm-hmm.
the ones that are painted like rainbows. And they have the spiral on the horn.
Mm-hmm.
They're especially
Magic.
the most real.
Their horns are magic.
So you're gonna poke that one up there? Yep, you got it. It is the national animal of which country? It's our heritage, Corey.
Which one?
One of them. Probably one of the most prominent heritage.
We have so much different
I
blood
know.
in us.
Okay, let's see. They're coming in now. And it looks like Joanne.
Oh,
Joanne got
Scottish.
Scotland.
That makes sense. Joanne! Joanne got the cute little pendant kit. Remember to claim a trivia if you win. You need to have an open order with us on vintagelifeshop.com. The same thing goes with the Big Loot giveaway. You must have an open order with us on vintagelifeshop.com so we are able to ship it to you and have your address and everything already in the system. It just makes things way easier for us. Congratulations, Joanne. Amazing, amazing.
All right, here's my little doodle for Joanne. Just to let you know.
Aww. December 31st, New Year's Eve. Love it.
All right, I will see you in a bit.
Beep, beep. Amazing. Good job, good job, good job, good job. I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. These are super cute, though. Like, that's a really cool bracelet. Really thick bracelet. Big pieces. Alright, so this one's for Joanne. Pull these off here. Alright. We have 2 more kits to go over today. So we'll do this one first, and then we'll do our bird one last. How about that? And then we'll do our look at the end, and then our monthly loot drawing, or our weekly loot drawing at the end. Alright, so this is our necklace. I wanted to make it kind of like a viney look, like a wrapped vine.
What you got for me?
Yes, baby.
Yeah.
Is this one or is this?
That's one.
Two.
That's one.
Okay.
Because I think this is what's under there. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's two more.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
More trivia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that works. That works. All right, let's get Carter up here for this necklace kit. Everything that you need for this necklace kit comes in this listing, cart 105, 12 pieces for $24. So you are going to get a finished chain with it. So this is our CH0010 chain. We also sell it in solid brass, I believe, which would be CHV0010. So you can grab that chain if you need it. Otherwise, a finished chain does come in this kit for you. Then you're going to need an arrow, which was the arrow that we had used in the demo right before here. So I'm going to pop up that arrow pack once again. Cart 104, 10 pieces for $20, which I do need to grab a couple of those right back here because I already used mine with that stinking bracelet that uses two of them. I should have brought out a couple more. But I will show you what the solid brass and the natural brass look like side by side. Here we go. Ooh, slide my stinking chair in here and get this to stop moving. So natural brass arrows and solid brass arrows come in this listing. You will be getting a solid brass arrow in this kit. So if you want to do it with the natural brass arrow, you can choose the natural brass pack as well. But a solid brass arrow will be coming in this kit. Well, at least they're on your phone, Stephanie. That's too bad. I wish Facebook didn't change things all the time to make it just crazy. All right, so next you're going to use this filigree again. So this is that F170 filigree. That is cart 101 to buy. So in the earrings, we ended up chopping off the sides of this filigree, but I didn't do that for this one. I just kept it as is because I thought it was very beautiful as it was. So we'll get one of those in there. And you're also going to get two of these daisies, these solid brass daisy, like raindrop blanks, raindrop shaped blanks, or a rounded triangle blank, which they're super duper cute. So you're going to get a couple of those. You're going to get this half hoop, or this quote-unquote U connector. Once it gets on screen here, there you go. Also natural brass, and then it's got these two little holes there on either side, which this is really fun for doing clusters as well, if you like doing cluster necklaces. You get one of those, and then you're going to get some 16 gauge natural brass colored wire. So I had one spool of this left. So this necklace kit will be limited to, I think, 12. I have to count how many rings of these I had. But you'll just need a ring of it. Remember, this is natural brass colored wire. This is not natural brass wire, but I hope this gets you excited for something that Jean and Doug have been wanting to release, which is actual natural brass 16 gauge wire. So keep your eyes peeled. That's something that we are wanting to get into. And then within a few days, I'm hoping, other than the holiday, we should be getting our 16 gauge solid brass wire in. So just a little heads up on those items and kind of a little bit of a plan into what we're going to introduce in the future, which 16 gauge natural brass wire, that's going to be amazing. A lot of people have been saying that they've been loving the natural brass wire. It is super, super, super labor intensive, but it's beautiful. It's so good to work with. It's easy to work with. We just love that. So we're going to be on the lookout for that. Just waiting for the wire itself to come in. And let's get into our little demo. I'm excited. I know, right? Yay, Peggy is right. So the connector pack, just for the connectors. Ooh, it's snowing outside. Love it. On New Year's Eve, so pretty. Cart 106, 8 pieces for $20. This natural brass half hoop, quote unquote, U connector. So it's a connector pack. Adorable. And then I already put up this one. And, ooh, I almost forgot. I did list our floral blank pack as well. So our floral blank pack comes with these cute 18 pieces for $18. But this cute little daisy pattern. So some of them you'll be able to see the daisy. Some of them you'll just be able to see the petals. Like this one. But so pretty, especially when the light hits them. Gorgeous. So 2 of those do come in this kit. Otherwise, you can buy 18 of them for $18. Cart 107, the solid brass floral blank pack. So there's quite a few different bulk packs you can buy for this. Otherwise, you can buy the kit itself, which I have a feeling that some of these kits are going down in inventory. So my bird necklace kit is sold out. I will still go over that so you guys know how to wrap the stone that comes with it, the ceramic stone. I guess it's not a stone, but it's ceramic that's made out to be a stone. Absolutely beautiful, and it's light, easy to work with. But potentially, if I find a stone that is that big, in some of my other things, I hope to add this kit as a different color. But I don't have any off the top of my head that I can think of at the moment that would work with this. But I might have a few different things that could potentially work with that since that kit has sold out. Okay. Let's get into this kit. So I'm going to start with our wire here. So this is our natural brass colored wire that's going to be coming in the kit. I'm going to bring the necklace kit back up for this one while we're going over it. So I'm going to take my pliers here, my round nose pliers. I'm going to pull this wire out a little bit because I don't need it there. Which this is probably a little bit longer than what you need, but you never know, especially when you're twisting it as many times as you are. So I'm going to come about just under halfway up the pliers here. Maybe even a little bit smaller because I want to use this as my starting point for my vine. And I make this little U here, or this little O, and I slide that through to gauge it here, so it's a little bit easier to hang on and it's not coming off from side to side. It can only come up off of it. It can't go like side to side, like, if that makes sense. I always say that. If that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, ask questions because I will try to explain it a little bit easier. How is the timeline for ear wires? What are you asking, Stephanie? I'm not quite understanding. But otherwise, I need to put up Doug's thing here that he put in there about the text. To be notified of these live events and classes, text LIVE, live, to 855-948-2148. And then you will get notifications of our pre-sales, our live videos, etc., etc. So, I'm holding in between my 2 fingers here. Make this a little bit like crochet, but it's not. So I'm holding my U connector in my 2 fingers here. I'm holding my natural brass colored wire with the U going over it right below the hole point. but I'm holding it down with my thumb so I can come in with my chain nose pliers, and I want to crimp that really tight right below the hole, because I want to get as much of a wrap as I can. And it's easier if you have your top piece slightly higher than your bottom piece. So I'm going to pull this off a little bit and shift that so it goes right above, kind of like a coil there. So it's right above. It's not meeting at, but it's going right above. So I can really get that crimped in super tight. Hopefully I can still fit my U connector through this because I might have crimped it. There we go. It's like I might have crimped it a little too good. Alright, I'm going to follow that. Oop, I accidentally pulled it. I need to balance this again. Hold on, my hands are sweaty. You can probably see it in the light. Alright, because the wire keeps slipping. Push it down just a little bit. Okay, that looks good. And then I got an itchy nose. Ah, what the heck? Alright, slid back on. I'm going to crimp that so it starts going over, and then I can coil following that spot. This one's a little more difficult if you got shaky hands like myself, but totally doable. Alright, that's crimped pretty good. I'm gonna make sure I'm slid up all the way though to my hole point, but not enough to go off. And I'm going to crimp with my chain nose over top of the wire as I maneuver it into its twirl, because it gives me a little more area to be stable on. It's looking pretty good. Crimp that just a little more. And then I'm going to hold on to my next piece of wire as I'm going down. I'm going to wrap again, trying to stay as close to my U connector as I can. And pull it a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to the next spot, holding my wire and my U connector as I'm twisting this around. Going to my next spot. Oh, I don't want to go too high on the screen. And then my next spot. This is just ensuring that I get a nice tight wrap against the U connector here. We're going to go all the way up to the other side where that other hole's at. And then I'm going to finish off with doing that same like circular round point that we did on the other side. And I'm going to crimp it so it's nice and tight. And then I'm going to clip off what I don't use. And if this looks about halfway, if you get the kit, then you could possibly make 2 of these if you got a few bulk packs of the other stuff. So that's how much wire we had left after doing our little twisties through. So save that wire for something else or the same thing. I'm going to come in, look at my crimps on either side again, make sure I'm not going over the holes. Probably I'm gonna move this in just a bit more. I'm gonna clip just a little bit off because I want this to be my front facing side and I don't want an end showing on my front facing side. That just flew somewhere where I don't know where it ended up, but it was way over on the other side of the room. So good thing Uncle Doug's not in here, because I would have probably got him right in the eyeball. My luck. Alright, so now we have our twisties. Thanks, Jean. Me too. It's very viney. It gives it that vine look. And then we take our jump ring that comes in this kit. We're going to open that beauty up. And I'm going to take my arrow and my crest filigree and my U connector and balance that while I close this up here. Gorgeous. So then your starting point's there. Then I'm going to show you that, so I used a couple JR10s, which will come in this kit. I might even put maybe even a JR20 or JRV20. I just want to ensure that it doesn't come apart if someone pulls on it a little bit. But I took my chain like this, straight down the middle. I found my middle point, cut that off. This chain is not soldered, so you can open and close the links. So if you didn't want to waste a link, you could just open and close the link. But I opened that up, so then I had two sides dangling at the end here. And I used a JR10 to go from the chain to the U connector. And then on that very end of that chain that's connecting to that JR10, I added another JR10 with the little daisy off to the side. On both sides. Show you the other side there. So JR10, so chain to JR10 to U connector, and then you add another JR10 next to the JR10, and then add your daisy blank. That's a lot of JR10. It's a lot of those. But it's very easy, and it's so cute, and the U connector's super unique. So, kind of that's your base. Then you have your chain. You could potentially even leave like this middle chain there, straight across, and then go up from it too. That would be pretty. So connecting this part to this part. So you don't even have to chop it if you don't want to. You could do a straight line across and then your chain come up as well to give it a little bit more of a unique look. Yes, it's the small flower, Janet. They are not on vintagelifeshop.com, but they come. Everything that you need for the 4 kits comes in the 4 kits. Otherwise, you can type in the part number F as in fat, S029. I want to make sure you guys know that I'm talking about F. But that, if you type that into the retail or wholesale site, that listing will come up. But it is really stunning. So it's this filigree, but we reversed the dap, and then we put our crystal in there. We folded all of our prongs over, and it gave it this really unique wrap look. I love it. All right, so that's all we need for this necklace kit, cart 105. If you guys need to see cart numbers, let me know. Otherwise, we are going to get into another trivia. Does that sound good, Uncle Doug? Thumbs up. All right. Let me get you unmuted here. There we go.
Yankee Echo Sierra. So I always laugh when people are on the phone when they have to ask for information from you and they're trying to do A as in apple, B as in boxcar, C as in carrot.
I think it's more fun that way.
No, it's not. It's so painful.
I love it.
If they just learn it, it's pretty cool if you just know it and you can rattle them off.
Yeah.
So with that, I have one, and we'll see. I hadn't heard this before. If Kieran were here, I'm sure he'd know it. So I've got another one of these trivia questions that I'd like to share. What do we got to give away here?
So we have a pewter stamping. That's a heart. And then we have 2 natural brass floral blanks, as well as, I think there's 2 pieces in this, 2 arrow natural brass blanks. And then these really cute, these are solid brass with the little pearl cabs already set for you. So 2 pieces for that. Oh, dang. On a vintage Vogue card? How old is that?
Yeah, right?
Oh, goodness. That's super old.
So here we go.
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
What is a single strand of spaghetti called? Pop it up there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know it, Corey?
No. I'd say like noodle or something.
Right. Well, we always call them spaghetti noodles, don't we?
Right, exactly.
Spaghetti noodles, mastacholi, whatever the thing is. We always have something that we call these things. But it's a special case of a noodle. Everybody's jumping in with their noodles. Noodle.
If
spaghetti.
Wendy was in here, it would be funny. So, one day, Uncle Ben, so Wendy's husband, was making spaghetti, and he turns to us kids, and he's like, "Do you know how to like figure out that your spaghetti's done boiling?" And we're like, "Oh, how?" And he's like, you throw a string of spaghetti on the wall, and if it sticks, it's done. And so he threw it on the wall, and it stuck. He goes, "Oh, it's done." I thought it was funny.
Hey, Janet Dobbs Wolf. Congrats.
What? Are you serious? That's what it's called? Spaghetto?
That's what it is. It's a spaghetto.
Good job, Janet. I would have never guessed. Oh, so spaghetti is plural. Okay. Spaghetto. Give me a spaghetto. Sounds so funny to say.
Sounds kind of ghetto.
Yeah.
Janet Wolf.
Good job, Janet. You learn something new every day.
Yeah, I mean, think of where you'd be without all this trivia.
I know. I don't know what I would have done if I didn't know what a spaghetto was.
I know, right? It doesn't even taste the same anymore.
Oh, my goodness.
It tastes so much better. Okay, are we ready?
Yeah.
Here's my little
Aww.
Happy New Year.
That's cute. Your doodles are getting really good. Are you sure Aunt
Well,
Nancy's not doing them?
I decided if I just take a few minutes before we do these things and sketch some up, it would save some time and they'd look a little better.
So that way you're not doing it on demand.
Yeah, because
All
they're
right.
they're kind of cruddy before.
We'll see you when you get over
All
here.
right, flink.
Okay. How fun. So I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna be like, Ian, what's a single strand of a spaghetti called? He's not gonna know. I'm gonna be like, spaghetto. I knew something you didn't.
Rhymes with ghetto.
Yeah. The cutesy little cards. Amazing. All right, and there's one trivia left.
One trivia and a big giveaway.
Yep. So we'll do our last necklace demo. We'll do the last trivia after this demo, and then we'll do the look, and then we'll do the big loot giveaway. I think that sounds good. It's only if you're in Italy. Here we call it a noodle. I like that, Kathy. That's what I thought too. I was like, it's a noodle. A noodle. Okay. So this is our last demo of the day today. I am going to put up the kit for it, though it is sold out, just so I know that I've gone through everything. But I do have the bird pack. So this bird, super cool. It was a Bella exclusive. Retails for $12 a piece, so make sure you grab it. It is thick. It's a thicker stamping. Not super thick by any means, but it's a little bit thicker than our normal blanks and our normal stampings are. Very detailed, so it looks very pretty when it's painted and when you take the relief block to it. Super detailed. You could do another hole punch in this wing if you want it set like this without it being wrapped, and you could do like 2 chains coming up like that, which would be super cute to have the sparrow dropping down, or some earrings like this would be cute. There's there's an ear wire. You could do something like that. Adorable. So lots of different things, but the first matter of business is the bird pack. So 5 pieces, cart 109 for $24. The Natural Brass Bella exclusive diving sparrow. And you're also going to need 2 F103s. This is 5 pieces for $20. Natural brass filigree. I have used this so many different times. Cart 111. If you visit vintageliveshop.com and you click into this listing specifically, you'll see all of the past designs that I have used with this piece, and it's starting to get kind of packed in there, so I started removing some of like the duplicate photos, so there's at least one photo of each design that I've done with these, and we've done a lot, and I think there's even a few that I'm missing in there because it wasn't until recently that I start just keeping all the pictures in there in the listings. So definitely visit vintageliveshop.com to the F103 listing to view some of that past inspiration. You're going to also get, for those that got the kit, you're going to get a finished necklace as well as the jump rings, the filigree, the crystal that you need for this, as well as the sparrow and the arrow there. So I'm going to do, I might have to take, actually I'll do it with the natural brass arrow since I used my other solid brass arrow for the other thing. They're the same size, same everything, it'll work. It's just a different color. And I'm not going to necessarily wrap this on the screen, but I'm going to show you how to wrap it just because I was limited to only 6 of these total, so I have 5 left, or there were 5 left for purchase, which they sold out, so I want to give those the opportunity to create it themselves. But let's start off with our arrow and our sparrow, or sparrow and arrow. course, that's just too perfect. All right. So I'm going to start on my tail end here of my sparrow. And I'm going to start wrapping that into the center, creating a loop on both sides. I'm going to start on this side, it'll be a little bit easier. So creating a loop on both sides with the tail. I'm going to go a little bit more on this side. And I'm going to gauge where I want this to sit. If I can pick up my arrow here. Alright. So I wanted it to come down kind of close to the center there. Which I think... Oh, I have another idea that I think is going to be super cool for this. As I'm looking at it now. Sometimes those ideas don't come to you until last minute. So I need to curve these in a bit more, so that's what I'm going to do. These little tail pieces need to come in, but still up. So this is kind of how I'm making my U here. Hold on. Or my loop. I'm creating a loop, but I'm not bending the loop part in to create a loop just yet. I'm just getting that rounded portion on the sides, but giving myself room to take that arrow and put it back down the middle there, and then maneuver these little tabs over top of the arrow, because this is what's securing our arrow to our bird. So you don't need to use any rivets, because this arrow center there is very thin, so getting a hole punch through that or a rivet by any means would be very difficult. I'll pull this in a bit more here. Let's see where we're sitting. It's looking a bit better. I do want to bring this back flat a little bit more here where the tail meets the body. Or make that flat, but keep our loops there on the back side. Here, I'll show you the back of this. So this is how I maneuvered one above the other and then hammered it. So then the hammered part of the tail kind of digs into the arrow a little bit and gives it just a little bit more security because it's indented there. I do this face upside down. So I'm going to pull in probably my lower one a bit more and then fold this one over top. So, trying to get a good way about getting my pliers in here without bending my wings too much. This one might be my top one. Here we go. Alright, I need to flatten out my tail again so I have room to fold over my tabs. Doing baby New Year. Ooh, Janet, yes. Okay. Looking pretty good, but I need to curve this the other way. So I get a little less arrow, or a little less space between the arrow and the bird itself. We want to make this easy to wrap. So I might bend my arrow in toward the bird a bit to make it easier before we hammer it. I'm going to bring this up closer. Hold on. Here we go. So this is where we're sitting right now. It's looking pretty good between the two sides. So So I'm going to fold this tab and twist it over top of the arrow, and I'm going to do that on the other side as well. So it folds over and under, and crimp without adjusting my arrow too much in between. And then bring them together. And then we need to take out our bench block here. And this is where I'm going to hammer. So front and back, one over the other, but not on top of each other. I'm going to lay that down. And then do this slow. But take your hammer. I'm going to pull this back here a little bit. Ian bought me a new phone for Christmas, so I'm hoping that the quality is a little bit better now, because my other phone was, like, super old. So I'm hoping the quality is a little bit better today. The camera quality, the internet quality might be the same, but... There we go. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to squeeze these back in so they're nice and tight. Just be careful you don't pinch yourself. It's looking good. I'm going to tap it from the front a little bit too. Get it very secure. Cute. That's probably the harder of the two parts. I don't want this little tab sticking out here, so I'm going to bend that just a little bit. Or you can even clip some of that overhang off up there. The idea for this though, so on mine, I went ahead and I took off some of the wings there because I didn't know what to do with the existing hole punch. But I had an idea today about what to do obviously during the live. You guys saw me, my whole mind lit up when I had the idea. So for this look, I cut so there's two different patterns of feathers here. There's this pattern that goes this way, and then there's the pattern that comes up the wing. You're going to snip right in the middle of those two patterns on both sides, and then file away to get this nice rounded look. That's how I got rid of the hole punch on this one. So right in between where the patterns change there, between the shorter feathers and the longer feathers, is where you're going to cut. Otherwise, you can keep it. So my idea for keeping it would be to hole punch on the other side. What is it? Between 1 and 2 on the first side. I always use lines as my guides. Like, okay, there's 1 or 2 lines with the third lump down to do my hole punches. I want to get this one pretty center though, because I might go off. Alright, hold on. I'll do that back here. So I have some leverage. Looking pretty good. Okay, so now I have 2 hole punches, one on either side. Then I would still do the connection here from the filigree to that, but it would be cool if you took... Will I have any chain? Okay, here we go. I found some chain here. So you can still do your normal connection like that, but have chain. Dang, I know some people don't like the dangles like this, but on a few pieces, I really like it. Even if you wanted to just do this instead of the kit with the orange ceramic piece, that's fine. But you could do it this way, connect your chain into these two, and then have a whole nother chain connecting up to your top arrow here, and then maybe putting a jewel there down at the bottom. Here, this is in the big loot giveaway. Hey, Lisa, if you're still watching, I don't have emerald rivolis. She was asking for like a darker emerald color, but I do have this emerald jewel drop that's in the, yeah, that would be cute. So I'd like chop the chain there. This is just another way that you guys can do this necklace since the kit sold out, and then do more chain up here, if that makes sense. I should probably finish that out. But it's just a little something different. Ooh, you add resin and paint over to cover the holes. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Or you could just do a little drop like that there at the bottom. Come up from a top view. So you could do it either way. You could put another hole punch there at the bottom of that. Have a sparrow arrow rolling. Alright, now for the orange, or if you have, let's measure this. That'd be the smart thing to do, Corian. Let's see what we're working with. We're working with a 26.13 millimeter ceramic piece. So if you have something, I would say 26 millimeters. Do, because this is like just barely making the cut. So find something that's 26 millimeters to use in the event that you weren't able to get this kit here. And then you're going to need your dappning set. So let's switch this. Up here. Alright. So in my big one, I wanted to create a dap area. It's a little bit harder to use this dapping set than it is. Let me just do the wood one, because I did see that one over here. Hold on. Hold on, since that's probably the one that most of you have anyway. Yes, you can definitely make one out of resin. Just make sure that it's not too tall. Here, let me measure the height of this too, because this is, I mean, just barely making the cut width and height, so let's say 7 millimeters. You're going to want a height of 7 millimeters and a width of 25 to 26. Do not really go over 26 if you can. You'll see why. Because this is these are very tight wraps with not a lot of room for air. All right. I better not have. Okay. I hit my phone. I was like, I better not have hit my camera. This is brand new. Would not have been good. We'll go a little bit farther up. Alright. I'm gonna need a deeper one. I'm gonna go to this one. Yep. That's also a trick. You can take your cab or whatever and throw it into your dapping block. See if it'll fit. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to have your flat one. Okay. Let's separate those so those look like two different necklaces there. Okay, so move that because that's creating a shadow. You're going to need your stone here. Okay. You see this is what I'm talking about with it's like just barely making the cut. There's just the tiniest amount of filigree lining the outside, and then these two spots have to stay open on the top and the bottom. So this is why I'm saying what I'm saying when you're going to want to use certain sizes for certain types of wraps. And you have your dapped filigree. So I find it easiest to come in like this and set your first one. So you're going to see that there's this tiny tab there poking through. There we go. That's a good view. So this little tab there that's moving, that's poking through the spot we need it to. You're going to slide in your ceramic piece. I need to push this in a little bit more. I'm curious if I can just do it with my fingers here. Yep. Which I have taught this wrap before, but with a rectangular piece. Which, if I have more of that rectangle piece, that actually might be a good idea to reutilize that wrap for more kits for this necklace. Alright, that's looking pretty good. So, from the back here, make sure you're centered in between your two little whimsy swirls there. Alright, so I have a tab on either side, there and there, that are poking through. You're going to make those flat. And by flat, I mean flat and curving in. So you're going to push that tab over the middle part. Push the tab over the middle part. That's what's locking in your wrap right there. You can see from the front, it goes through that hole on either side, and then you have your tabs that you fold over the ceramic back. Okay, that's what locks you in. And then, after I have it wrapped, then, because I don't want to use this piece, but I kind of want to show you that it doesn't break the ceramic. So after you're wrapped, all right, and I could cut this apart. Yeah, I'll just cut this apart. Don't worry, I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. I think it's important. Make sure you stay centered. The ceramic's a little hard to work with because it doesn't have a total flat back. It kind of divots a little bit because it is handmade, but I'm going to fold this tab. Try and keep it as center as I can when I'm doing it. Fold this tab. And then I'll push it down in. Same on the other side. Looks like I'm a little off center. I'm going to bend that down a little bit too if it makes it a little bit easier to get your pliers in there. So we're caged, as Stephanie said. Oh, you're the sweetest, Janet. Thank you. So this point, you grab your bench block, wherever I put that stinking thing. Oh, there it is. Now, this does move around a little bit, and you can see that there's some space in between the ceramic and the filigree. So what I did is I took my hammer, the smaller of the two, just ever so slightly, hammer it down. It'll give you a little more space to work with on your tabs on the back that's securing you in. But this ensures that you get nice and stinking close to that ceramic piece. And your ceramic might move around a little bit as you're hammering, but that's okay, totally normal. Then I'm going to grab these pliers. And I'm going to clip on either side to bring these tabs in nice and close. I use these pliers because they're longer than my chain nose. I'm going to flip it back over, and I'm going to re-secure my tabs so they're nice and tight and I don't lose my ceramic. From both angles, from the front and the back, I'm going to secure those tabs. So then you have a really pretty connector piece, which also, stunning bracelet. This, I need to grab that other piece that I made, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think I had put that piece that I had made using this technique in somebody's order as a free gift. Now that I'm thinking about it. That's okay though. That's what I do here. That's what we love. We love giving things away. But you'll take, I did a little bit more hammering here in the center, just tiny bits. I don't want to break that ceramic, but it gave me enough flat surface area to put a little bit of Loctite there on the center. Otherwise, you don't have to. You can keep it balled up, totally fine, very pretty, but I wanted to add a little chaton there in the center, so I just flattened that out a bit more and glued a chaton on there. Your JR20 or your jump ring will be connecting the two here. And then you can add your loop chain, or you can add a little jewel at the bottom of the arrow there, or you can cut off those hole punch points, whatever you're feeling. And then your big jump ring is going to come in there as well, and then connect to your chain. Like that. How pretty! Don't you love that? I love that. It's so cute. Let me, maybe I'll have, while Uncle Doug's doing this next trivia, I'll go run and see if I have that other piece that I was talking about in my room. Because I think I made a few of them, but I know I for sure recently gave one away in someone's order. Is Uncle Doug ready for trivia? Yes? Okay. Let me pull Uncle Doug on here. What do you think of that demo, Uncle Doug?
That's just over the top.
Oh, you're so amazing.
Really nice. It'll be a nice gift for Nancy. Now
I like it.
She's got our kids and grandkids showed up about an hour ago, so I think she's temporarily not watching. So it's a good thing. Otherwise, she would have laid claim on these things.
Yes. So I had made this necklace yesterday afternoon, and I put it on my Instagram and on my Instagram story, and I was like, I just made this for the demo tomorrow. I got a lot of loves on it, so
it's really nice. It just really turned out well.
That made me feel good. All right, so while Uncle Doug's doing the trivia here, I'm going to make sure that I get the trivia in the comments before I go run and look for that piece.
You decarded these, huh? You took the cards off.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the cards, the bracelet card was a little bit dirty. The chain card was fine though.
And all of the carded prices are so outdated that I like even feel bad,
that's true.
I'm
That's
like,
true.
I wish I could still get this at that price, but
Yeah,
right.
the price we used to sell it as what we almost have to pay for it now.
Well, that, and we sold those in bulk, like thousands of pieces.
Yeah.
All right. So in this kit giveaway, you're going to get a steel curb chain necklace that's finished. It is plated sterling silver, as well as a plated gold. I believe this is steel based. Jean might have to chime in on that on the marquee bracelet
You have
there.
your
Which
magnet
these
over there? Remember your magnets? Didn't I leave a magnet over for you? Maybe it would.
Oh, I don't know where my magnet went. It's okay.
All right.
I think it's steel though.
Yeah, it could be springy because the springy steel will help it go back into shape.
Hold on. This is, I can just tell right here. No, it's brass.
Brass. Okay.
So it's brass based, plated gold, and then we have these two pretty solid brass.
Those are kind of cool. Those might have been in a sample bag.
Yeah, these are really, really pretty when they're
Those
painted.
are going to paint up awesome.
I think I painted one purple for a demo before that we did in the live shop. So
yeah, so we've sold that on the live shop before.
Yes, long time ago though.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
And we don't sell it on the live shop anymore because we don't have any.
All right, well here's some randomness again. But we have a lot of outdoors people who might know the answer to this. You ready?
Yep.
Flink. There it is. What do you call a group of porcupines? Someone's going to know this one.
Okay.
They're probably going
to look for that piece quick.
What do you call a group of porcupines? Not everybody at once, though I can't handle it when they come in that fast. Yep. Keeping my eye out here. Ooh, Sherry. Kathy says, ouch. We call them an ouch. Don't get caught in the middle of them, right? We have Sherry though. She's one of our top trivia winners.
Yeah, Kathy too. Kathy's really good.
Yeah. You got to get up pretty early to get one by Sherry.
All right. So
the answer is a prickle.
A prickle? And you said it was Sherry. Good job, Sherry. We love that. Do you guys like the little applause sound effect? I love it.
I do too.
I love it. Okay.
So now the hardest part.
What's that?
Whenever she wins.
The doodle?
No. The name.
Oh, her last name, so it's so long. Okay. So I have yet to even... This is my first time unsaran wrapping my jewelry that I took down to the show. There's so much of it, but I was hoping that blossom would be on one of my saran wrapped displays.
Okay, I got the doodle ready for Sherry. There we go.
Fireworks!
Happy New Year 2026. Ba-boom.
Love it.
Congrats, Sherry.
All right.
Keep honing your trivia skills, and you set a good example for the other ladies.
Yes. All right, I'll see you over here.
Yep.
It's not turning. There we go. I was like, it's not happening. All right. So Uncle Doug's going to come and grab your trivia giveaway, Sherry. And then I did find the rectangle one. Now, don't make fun of me for this one. This one was the first one I did, and I gave away my nice one. I didn't give away my beaten one.
I guess we told them how they have to claim it. Did you say that today sometime?
Yes, that they have to have an
most
open
of the gals
order.
who are winning, they would know this already, right? Okay.
Amazing. All right, so there's that. I was hoping my blossom one was on here because I painted it and it was so pretty. But
You might not want to show them all this stuff. This is crazy good stuff.
This is all stuff we've done in the demos, though.
I know, it's nice. Look at it all.
So they should have, or should see it. Yeah, I don't have, it's not on this display. But like,
Wow.
Isn't this obnoxious, you guys? Every single one of these pegs is just full of necklaces.
It's beautifully obnoxious.
It's crazy. It is. Alright, let's dive into this rectangle here quickly. I wish I had that display, or that stinking purple necklace for you guys. Because I painted it purple, but it probably fell off. I don't know. If I find it again, guys, I will send a picture of it to one of the groups or something. But just that blossom painted cherry, I painted it like purple, and you'll love it. It was gorgeous. Okay, now, for the rectangle one that I was talking about, this is the same concept, but it was using a really thick rectangle crystal, which I can probably maybe find the demo for this even, but it's using the same concept. We're just going the other direction and still using those tabs to fold over. This one's my janky one, so don't make fun of me for it. I know that it's offset, a little weird looking, but I gave away my good one and not my bad one. But this focal for a bracelet, absolutely insane. For a necklace, you could do a connector, so you could do chain from the top two and then hang something from the bottom, and that's also just huge and gorgeous. I did not. I think Jean made some, and Logan made some. Wendy may have made some. They're just displays that we used to have in our Main Street store, Bella Vintage, that I have been utilizing to hold all of my jewelry. I think my favorite display, which I think you guys might like, this one would be easy to make. So if you have some driftwood, these are fun. This was one of the most favorite displays at the show, but it's some driftwood that's screwed onto just a plank of wood, which it comes off in those directions, so you can have like necklaces hanging from here, from the other side, and then there's like little notches. Hold on, maybe I can show some of the notches. There's little notches made in here that you can hang your necklace chains on. So, this was one of the favorite displays when I was doing the show in Virginia. Since I know Jean was talking about some organization tips and stuff during the last master class, I thought that would be good. Oh yeah, Todd did some of them too. I forgot Todd worked for us. That's Jess's husband. Oh gosh, I miss Jess. I just visited her the other day. It was so fun. She's just such a doll. I was like, I'm just going to go down to the shop and visit with Jess here for a little bit. We always love chatting it up. And her jewelry, her store is so stinky cute. She's got this charm bar. I love it. Jean, Wendy, all of you will have to stop into her store when you visit back here because it's so different, but it's so stunning. Okay. So we got our square crystal down. I wish I could find that blossom. If I do a little bit later, I'll send a picture of that to one of the chats or maybe DIY Vintage. I know I have a picture of it somewhere, so that might be my best bet. But let's do our look here with the jewelry that we made today, and then we'll do our big loot giveaway, and then I'll be able to send you on to your new year. Oh, it's so crazy to say. I'm going to keep saying it. It's just crazy. It is absolutely insane that it is 2026. Just blowing my mind over here. Just getting older every year, every day, every minute, every second. All right, let's get our jewelry set out that we made today, and then we'll be able to get it on. Also, how cool is this ring? I found this ring the other day too. I'm going to antique it all the way. It was already antique there in the center, but I'm going to make it super antique all the way around. But I love it. I love going through our prototypes and making some really cool stuff out of them. And we need our bracelet, of course. So, here we go. And then I need to go full screen here. And I'm going to flip this around. Actually, I'm going to do this first. We're going to this view, so it's a little less weird. There we go. Also, so on my new phone, I have these camera screen protectors. It said that it was going to be flat gold, but they're like sparkly gold. Why the heck does Corian need sparkles? But it's just how it came, and I thought it was cute. All right, let's get this flipped around. Oh, you know what's also super cool? Hold on. Is that I now have this, and it's like a little stand that I can set up, so it might be easier for me to do some other angles and stuff eventually here by having that. So I'm always thinking of you guys when I'm buying new devices for the lives and stuff, because I'm like, we just have to do it. All right, let me grab my chair and a drink of my cranberry juice. I know I'm not old, but my body makes me feel old all the time. Okay. Jess is very inspirational. Very. Her designs I love them. Can you get your mom, dad to gather some driftwood to send to me? Oh, potentially, Peggy. I have some driftwood that I can probably ship out to you too. If you go down to the river, you can find a lot of driftwood. A lot. Okay. Okay, that's enough. Corian is getting off track here. So first, we'll start off with our earring. Ooh, I got like a messy bun action going today. Isn't that pretty? This is going to be a little bit of a harsh light, but oh yeah, we'll see if that works a little bit better. It's a little harsh, but it's a little bit better than what it was. So you guys can really see it, and it's not like super dark. There we go. You guys can, oh, my stinking freaking fingers are going, ooh, like trying to hold the earring up. Hold on. I'll do it like this so you guys can see the length. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Super cute. Big fan of those. Though I can't take home any more jewelry until I get some displays up, because now I'm even getting a little frustrated with how much jewelry I have at the house. And it's crazy because I haven't even made a dent in what I have here, let alone I didn't even make a dent down in Virginia either. Like, I have so much jewelry. I could probably do shows for like 2 years and still have jewelry. It's bad. All right, so this is the bracelet, the arrow bracelet. There we go, that worked a little bit. Love that, guys. And the arrows just cuff perfectly around. Let's do it this way too. You guys can see like the front and the back. Oh, this one's really stinking pretty. What do you look like? Yes, okay. I'm taking it home. Oh, so dangerous. Vintage is so dangerous, you guys. So dangerous. Alright, let's see. I'm going to make this one kind of like a choker length. So I'm just going to come up on my chain here a little bit in one of these extra links. And then do it that length so it sits up a little higher. I have to move this light out of my face. Because now I'm starting to get a little warm again. I'm just gonna, maybe we ought to bring it back, but down. There we go. That's a little bit better. So I'm not dying of heat this way. Alright. Let me recenter my shirt here. This is the extra piece of chain. So throw that behind me. Let's move my moon necklace up so you guys can see that gorgeousness as a choker. And then it's long when it's pretty when it's long too. Yep. That's a stunning one. That's a showstopper right there. You can even do it with your layered choker too, off to the side, but the live was a nice way to end the year. Thank you, Corey, for all you do for us. Happy New Year to everyone. You're so sweet. Thank you, Rosie. Thanks, Kimmy. You need to make it for yourself. Oh, you stepped away when I made the bracelet? You'll have to watch the replay. It's so easy. It was probably one of the easier ones to do out of the whole batch. Alright, and then bracelet, and then our last necklace here. I'm going to see if I can do this one as a choker as well. Because I have them photographed as kind of like they would be long necklaces, but I also need to get used to using CL0002s, because those are what normally comes on our pre-finished necklaces, but they're a little hard for me to use because I have longer nails. CL0003s are a little bit easier for me. Alright, which way? This way. That way. Oh, a little bit more. That way. There we go. The freaking tank top, make it normal. There we go. And then this is our vine necklace. That's also ridiculously pretty. When I was browsing some Facebook comments of people who were at the show in Virginia, and there was one lady on there, and she goes, her daughter commented and was like, my mom or something went to your booth at least 3 times, and then her mom commented and was like, Corian's booth was my favorite booth. I could go there day after day after day. She goes, I was there so many times. And she just, people like that just absolutely get my heart pumping. But I thought it was fun. You guys should always review if you're if you're in a show and there's Facebook pages or Instagram pages or social media pages that recognize that show and potentially have pictures of you in your show or people looking at your products. It's always good to kind of review those social media accounts so you can pull those photos, you can share those reviews, and then you can also gain a new customer base by going in and like loving their comments, so that way they can see that you're on social media and then they go follow your pages. So there's lots of different ways to get new customers and whatnot, but the first start is making some good jewelry, and I think that's what we've been doing. All right, so 2026 is tomorrow, January 1st. We will not be working for the day, so New Year, we all have off. And then we'll be back Friday. If Jean's still watching, do you have anything planned for Friday? Thank you, Stephanie. You like the longer ones with the choker? Me too. Is it Luana? Ah, I like that name. Hopefully I pronounced it right. But I think this is the first time I'm seeing you. So welcome. Welcome before we say bye-bye, but you'll have to join us every week. Thank you, Sherry. All right. Maybe let's get Uncle Doug back on here for our Big Loot giveaway. And then we can say bye to everybody. How about that? You're going to see two of me for a second, so just hold on.
Wow, double the
I know,
pleasure.
You're getting spoiled. Let me just put this phone thing up here. Yeah.
Getting some vertigo going on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Corey, I'm going to copy and send over to you 3 names.
Okay.
Over from our YouTube crowd.
Sure.
That we want to include in your spinner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's done. Teams. I sent it over on Teams.
Okay. I'm going to pull some of these in here so we can see it all on the screen. Come in a little bit closer.
Thank you, Janet, for the New Year's wishes. Same to you and your family.
All right, so
Peggy, Happy New Year to you. I hope you get out. But don't get out tonight. Tonight's not the night to get out. Hope you get out soon.
It's still snowing over here. Okay, so Lila Lav, Heather Forsythe, and Kelly Walker from YouTube. And you guys know the drill. I'll pop that up on the screen for you guys. All you have to do is love react to the live. To be entered into the Big Loot giveaway. To claim, you must have an open order with us on vintageliveshop.com. And then I'm going to do a thumbs up for when I refresh the live here. And then we will get all of your names into the Warehouse Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
Warehouse!
Now you need to do your claps on there.
I know.
Wheel of Fortune.
Thank you, Cheryl. You're very sweet. Okay, so I'm refreshing my live feed. All right, you ladies. I don't care if you've won it yet or not. You still need to love react to this live. There's only 26, which is also...
What?
I know, it's very
26?
low. It's been low for the last few weeks. Usually we're at
we had
40.
well over 50 watching, so only half the people did a like or shared. Maybe it's because we have 25 people who already won.
Maybe.
Yeah, you better watch out though, because you never know. We're going to start dropping them off now. After 6 months, we're going to drop off the oldest ones so you can start to win again.
Yep. Okay, so let's get this onto the... Just know that reacting with our lives, whether it's loving, liking, any reaction and comments helps boost our organic traffic, and that's what we need to reach more people and more designers like you.
Yeah, and for the YouTube folks, you do a thumbs up and subscribe. That's how we participate on that end.
All right.
Because your names are on here too. You never know. So did you get, I think I saw a couple, do you want to refresh another time? I think I saw a couple more hearts come in, but maybe you're on top of it already.
I think we have everything in there.
You have everybody in? Okay.
All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Spin.
You like my New Year's?
I do. It's pretty. Fireworks and everything.
think Lisa's won pretty recently. You have to double check.
I'm looking.
In the event that somebody has won, we will spin again.
Yep. Lisa, we got to spin again. Lisa won in August.
Here we
Sorry,
go.
Lisa, we tried.
Has Cindy Gilmer won yet?
Let's try. Yep, she won in September.
Okay, next.
Boy, the odds are getting really, they're getting better, huh?
Yup.
Oh.
Lisbeth.
Lisbeth Urias Soria.
Thank you for that pronunciation.
Lisbeth Urias Soria.
Do you want to write that down
I
while the
know that
names...
she has not won before.
Right. So if you want to write her name down while it's up.
Leave it up there still for a second.
Okay. Because I know some spelling things are a little difficult.
Soria. Okay.
You have her name in?
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, I'm going to pull this back, and then I'm going to get into Facebook here to see if I have any more comments and see if Jean had commented yet about potential for Friday. Friday is a metalworking class loot design idea day. So let me pop up Vintage's comment here. I have to go to new comments down here. There we go. So Friday is a metalworking class and a loot design idea today. So join in tomorrow. Thank you for an amazing year with us for 2025. Thank you for your support, your loyalty, all of it. We really appreciate you guys coming in every single week to learn some new jewelry techniques and different designs. And
I gotta show her little doodle.
2026 is going to be absolutely crazy.
Mentioning that, look at that.
Nice. 2026.
Felicidades,
now.
Lisbeth. Felicidades. Y un año prospero nuevo.
Thank you guys so much. Sincerely, from the bottom of our hearts. From Wendy, Jean, myself, Uncle Doug, Aunt Nancy, Krista, everybody here at Vintage. We love and appreciate everything that you do. Like I said, your continued support, all of it. It means the world to us. All right. And yes, what Lynn said, stay healthy, please. Flu A and B, RSV, all of it. That stuff is all going around. Walking pneumonia is going around.
So is the boogie woogie flu.
Yeah, you just need to drink lots of water, take your vitamin C, take hot showers, essential oils, all of it. Prep for a sickly beginning of the year, unfortunately. But stay healthy. All right. We are going to send you off to 2026.